Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition and press reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its Community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our Community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join.
Hello everyone and Katribu. I am Dina Ventura.
And I am Jojo Silvestre, and welcome
to Tribune Now
Spotlight. We have a very special guest today. She is one of our top women designers. I would say that when it comes to Filipiniana wear, I vote her as number one because she does not just use any ordinary
fabric.
Yeah. Instead, she has a special kind of fabric made by our tribal people. I think in Mindoro.
Yeah.
It's called banaka, which means banana and abaca fiber. May I present to you our very own Ditta Sandico. Hi, Ditta.
Hi, Dita. Welcome.
Hi, Toto. Hi, Dina.
How are
nice
you?
to see you guys.
Kumusta ka? How are you?
Mabuti. And thanks for inviting. Thanks for the invite. Such a pleasure to be here.
You know, I've known Ditta for like 20 years. Although I think this is the second time we're seeing each other, and it's via Zoom here. But I've
I
always
think it's more than 2 decades, I think.
Wow.
yeah. And
Can't
she's
show our age this way, Jojo.
but look at her.
You
She's
don't look it though.
very youthful.
You look so youthful
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fresh.
I think she's very happy.
Very
Yeah.
happy. And well rested.
Yeah.
But I think one reason is she has chosen the right vocation.
I know.
So she's not working at all.
She's enjoying every bit.
Yeah. Dita, tell us, how did you become...
Everything. Yeah, I think it's more like we have to enjoy the work, right?
Yeah. How did you become interested in fashion design? Tell us your life story, your career highlights.
All right. Let me start by telling you that I have been in the fashion industry for the past 35 years. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Wow.
And then if
Wow.
I have to go back from my childhood days, let's say from my growing years, toddler, 1 to 10, of course, it was my family who was there to really hover over me. And then from 10 to my 20th birthday, I would believe my mom and dad really influenced me a lot in having this career. First of all, Jojo would know this, that I grew up in the retail industry.
Of course.
I was a buzz girl to my mom. She was always there. She was the fashion merchandiser of this store called COD.
The famous COD.
Yeah.
Where everyone
Jojo
went.
would know of. It's short for cash on delivery. And during those days, I would be running around for her. I would be her. I would bring money to the cashier, or I would wrap up things in the wrapping counter. And when I was growing, I would buy things for the store. I would model for her,
Wow.
and then we would go to the fashion shows, and it was such a good experience. And then my father too encouraged me to take fine arts in UP,
Okay.
in the university. So during those times, I had both of them at my back.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it took a while before I could really decide on what career I would take. I thought I would end up in the store with my mom. But then again, it felt like I needed to have my own identity. And therefore, I put up my own business, which was into fashion. Same line, but in a different, I guess, a different platform, because eventually I had to move out of her skirt and do my own thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was kind of difficult, but then eventually I learned to move on.
Wow. How did you finally take that plunge?
Yeah.
Okay, if I go back, let's say 40 years back, I was 20 years old,
Okay.
and I was still in school. I went to school. I took fashion merchandising in New York. It was called Toby Coburn School for Fashion Careers.
Okay.
During that time, there were no fashion schools in Manila yet.
Yeah.
It was probably only Golden Hands and Slims. Those were the popular schools. And but on fashion merchandising and the other schools on design, they were not yet established then.
Not really.
So I took it upon myself to go out and learn the trade and get more experience. So I was out of the country for almost 2 years.
Was it
and then
hard?
came back.
Was it hard for you, or did you find it fairly easy to make that transition and learn something you loved at a time when there wasn't so much, diba? No, not so much popularity for the industry yet?
Well, during that time, it was already starting. There were a lot of young designers. I mean, not that much. I would think the fashion group in SM, they were already put together. And there were several other young designers already coming out of their niches. But in my case, I really had to start off on my own, restart myself,
Yeah.
and come up with my own brand.
That's something.
That was part of the difficulty because it's not just getting into your mother's skills or your dad's name,
Yeah.
but really to
Making it on
come
your
up with
own.
something totally different. Yes.
Wow. So strong.
So let's talk about the fabric that you use. It's called banaka.
Banaka.
Okay. I think I have to make a correction there. Okay. Banaka is
Okay.
made out of banana abaca.
Okay.
Banana, which is the mother plant. I mean, the abaca is very much like the banana plant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it actually taken from that tree, from the pulp of the bark of the tree. And it's actually grown in Catanduanes, not Mindoro.
Not
The
Mindoro.
indigenous group that I'm working now are the Manyans, which are also doing other weaving, which is called the habol fabric.
Okay.
And this is the ones that they make into their skirts, called tapis. So, going back to Banaka,
Yeah.
I started developing that in the 1990s, because of the need to grow our own local indigenous materials. And I soon realized that there was so much of this material growing everywhere in the Philippines. In fact, we are the biggest producer of abaca in the world. We actually export this fiber
The community.
to all the parts of the world, especially Japan, wherein they make use of it for their builds. And this has really grown in leaps and bounds. It's just that they never used it for fashion.
Yeah.
And it was one big leap for me because I had to experiment. I had to know how to use it and really try it out in so many different ways. So that was the exciting part. And also launching it because not everybody knew what it was like to wear abaca. Most of everyone used it as slippers, handbags, or even bags, and even used as the ropes in the ships. You know, when they have all this, it was called Manila hemp, and that was what we used to export a lot of.
I see. Wow. I've got so many questions pa about that.
Yeah.
Because you really took a pioneering stance there, right? Developing a fabric and making it wearable. That's something I think that's worth discussing a bit more. But I think for now, we have to take a short break. We'll come back.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako! Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hello, can you get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung sofa, tapos slide, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget my hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa cancel ko sa Lipa? Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami mag-deliver.
Call to deliver. Call hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call na rin kayo. Call to deliver.
2, 1, and
And we're back, Jojo. We're here with Miss Ditta Sandico, and we're talking about her pioneering fabric technology. Is that called a technology or
anything, I guess.
which you invented?
Indigenous
Ditta?
technology.
It's not actually my own invention. Of course, I had to work with weavers. And with their help, they were able to come up with something that's fine and wearable.
Yes. And that's
The moment I tried the fabric on, and there were so many things that was running through my mind. Because at that time, like I said, it was never worn as a
Clothes.
Yeah. Actually, I would think also that our forefathers used to wear them. I mean, our grandparents used to wear
Right.
sinamay. So,
Oh,
but
sinamay.
our fabric is now being um, uh, it's being blended with cotton and polyester. So it's a totally different technique, and I think that's the way to. That's the way we've managed to make it more wearable.
Right. So, can you tell us a little bit more about the communities that you worked with to develop these fabrics? And are you still working with them until now?
Okay, we started with the community in Catanduanes a few years back, and we have several weavers. Well, right now I think we have around 10, but this goes back to like our the helpers that we have, which are the farmers who grow the material and then they knot the fibers from end to end, then eventually weave it. So it's very tedious work. We have a lot of work going on, and I think that whole thing of bringing that whole community together is part of the mission that we would like to undertake. I mean, we've been undertaking for so long.
For so long, no? Galing.
Yeah. So it's only Catanduanes.
And
It's only
Mindoro.
Catanduanes that's weaving it. And then we have other weavers also from Bulacan. And like I said, the Mangyans of Mindoro.
Iba naman.
Oo nga.
You-
But
okay.
I have a
Go
follow-up
ahead.
question lang. Kasi so how has your business been affected during this pandemic? Because
Well, that's a
production,
very
diba?
good question because like now everyone seems to be at a standstill. And
Yeah.
of course, we have been affected too.
Mm.
And like what we're trying to do now is we're working online most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're continuously trying to lift up, to keep things up
Mm.
and slowly building up the number of consumers and our viewers.
Right.
And I think now that things are getting easier, we hope that we will keep up the work with a lot of, even with other designers. We would like to help others too.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Oo
yeah.
nga.
You know,
What?
as I was saying, I've known
Ditta.
Ditta for a long time. You know, we even went to her mountain retreat
Oh.
in the mountains of Rizal. I think that's Sierra Madre, no? Ditta.
Yes, it's part of the Sierra Madre Mountains.
So I wonder, where did you get this? Yung bang she loves the environment and she's into
Nature.
sustainable lifestyle.
Yes.
So tell us about your interest and how do you apply this in your daily life?
Yes, because parang she's way ahead of everyone.
Yeah,
Before it
that
even
was a long
became
time
a
ago.
trend, you've been
Yeah.
living it already.
Yeah, parang she anticipated the pandemic.
Right.
I know that's why when this whole thing came about, it was like, hey, this is not really normal for me because this is a lifestyle.
Oh.
Yeah.
And when I think about it, I started living this lifestyle since I had my firstborn son when I started to take yoga. And then I slowly became a vegetarian. And of course, the practice of yoga, meditation, and all that helped me so much in dealing with a lot of things in my life,
Oo
a
nga.
lot of the challenges. And I look at it from a holistic point of view. I've always seen things in terms of how, it's almost like a cycle of life. And it's like growing things and then building it up from there and then making it into something like fabric, which is so beautiful. I mean, it
Yes.
usually takes a process, diba? I mean, it's never just like instantly, but
Yeah.
when we do something like this, it's somehow very magical because every day you're experiencing something new, and every day you see it looking differently, and then sometimes it just blooms, it just grows, and then it's there. It's
Amazing.
and now it
Magical.
has really grown in leaps and bounds.
Yeah, that's right.
Oo. So I'm really curious about to what extent are you living this sustainable lifestyle, right, Jojo?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it sounds so, it's just natural and beautiful and everything.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people
Would.
would, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe there are
I
still
think
some
there
fears.
was. I think what people are experiencing now is the difficulty of having to plunge into getting into that lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's I think we grow. I've grown through it slowly. It's like I said, it's a process.
Yeah.
And with the work that I do and the lifestyle that I live with, it took some time before I could really be comfortable with. It's almost like learning a new sport or learning a new craft or even a talent. Just like maybe learning to sing or to dance. But it takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Same way as living a lifestyle because you tend to just wean out the old ways
Right.
and then take in new things.
Yes.
And when you realize, hey, it's good for me, I feel good, I'm happy with it, then you adapt to it.
Oh.
Even when you're doing, like I tried to learn ice skating and it was difficult, but slowly your body, it's almost like muscle memory. When you get used to it, and then it becomes like you're performing and you don't even feel it. In any way, in any form of exercise, or even in horseback riding or dancing, ballroom dancing. I used to dance a lot, and I really loved the sport. And after a while, it wasn't like you were counting steps; you were just
Moving.
flow.
Yeah.
I think some members of her family are also into sustainable lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
I met her late aunt Belen King, Mrs. Belen King, and she was also very, very conscious of nature, and she had a slim body and
Yeah,
nice
I remember.
skin.
I think I've been to their house. Did she have a house in Forbes?
Forbes, yeah.
I wrote
Yeah.
about their house.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was my aunt.
Yeah.
I used to call her Mabel, and she was one of my icons because I would follow her everywhere. And I guess I got a lot of influence from her.
Yeah.
She actually brought into the alternative lifestyle to
Yeah,
us.
alternative.
Yan.
Yeah.
Oh, what can you say about a lot more people are getting into that, and even with your fellow fashion designers, many of them are getting into the sustainable fabrics, the ethnic fabrics. What can you say, since I think you were the first to do that?
Yeah.
Well,
Seriously.
I was just really lucky. And of course, there was a lot of difficulties. I mean, it was laborious, and it took a while before it just really took off, because I feel like it's just been like 10 years and especially with my colleagues who have really started to move into this type of consumer. I mean, of developing things for the market. I just feel like I was one of the first ones, and it feels good to think that somehow you've turned full circle with things, because now it's more like giving of yourself, actually influencing others to do the same.
Yeah.
Because this is the way to go, and it helps the environment, lessens the carbon footprint, and giving us more vision and helping other people to sustain their lives.
Right, the
And that's one of
jobs.
the most important things that we should do
Okay.
Dita,
as fashion leaders in our country.
Yes.
Dita, why did you choose banana and abaca? I mean, what was that first thing that made you?
Choose those.
Yeah. Did you see it in someone else, or?
No, actually, the moment I saw the fabric, I was mesmerized. I thought this is
Ah.
something different. It was totally unique, very exotic of our country.
Oh, oh.
And then I started playing around with it in my uh, in my in my quiet times. It came out like I said, I keep using the word magical because somehow it was subliminal when I started putting it around my body. It just stood out. It was very sculptural. It has its own unique
Yeah, shape.
properties.
You know,
It keeps its shape,
Right.
yeah.
and it has a different form. So when people wear it, they always stand out from the crowd,
Yes,
Yeah.
and
actually.
that's what makes it truly special.
You know, iba talaga pag fine arts
Oo
graduate,
nga. I
no?
think it was your artistic side talaga that saw something in a fabric.
Yeah, yeah.
And come to think of it, when I started wearing it, I thought, my God, is this fabric speaking to me? Because I was feeling itchy all over, and I said, maybe something's talking to me. And then, true enough, I said, yeah, I think it's a way of connecting to the nature of the fabric, because
Yeah, yeah.
I so believe that it's a natural fabric, and this fabric has a soul, because it used to be, well, it's alive. It has live enzymes in it. So that's how I treat the fabric. I just really love it. I mean, I respect it in every way.
Spoken like a talagang
Dita,
true earth lover.
who is the woman who wears a Ditta Sandico creation?
Well, we've had a lot of power women coming up. And to name a few, I would dress up the diplomatic wives, the diplomatic corps. At one time we had GMA dress up like in one of our raps, and politicians. I mean, Gloria Jumamil. She's also one of the Congress. She works in Malacanang, and some of the newscasters, the
Yeah.
broadcasters on TV, and a lot of them already have used my raps, and they're my frontliners, because they're actually
Yeah.
showing off our raps,
Creations, yes.
and especially on TV. Tessa Prieto also dresses.
Yeah.
I mean, wears
Yeah.
our rap,
Yeah.
and our bigger raps, and then now I think in the actresses, we're also dressing Nadine Lustre.
Nadine,
Wow.
yes,
Wow.
I've seen her. Like she was wearing a recent shoot of her, I think, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah, she wore one of some of our creations.
I remember I bought you used to have this shop in Rustan's.
Yes.
I bought one of your OB belts.
Oh yeah. Yes. They're
Ganda
very
nun.
popular among the young
Yes.
ones, because they can show off their waistline.
Oo nga, ano.
Ang ganda nun. Always parang conversation piece siya kasi whenever I wore it, people would ask about it eh.
Oo ha. Yeah, oo nga, ano.
Diba?
Oo.
Yeah, and to think it's so Filipino, but it looks Japanese. Di ba? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Oo.
I think I've seen you wear it.
almost like
Before?
East
Oh.
West.
Yes, so nice that combination.
So, what's your guiding principle? You know, like, do you think of a woman when you design something? I mean, when you thought of all this, no, were you targeting a particular kind of woman? She has to be sexy. Can someone as big as I am wear something like what you're doing?
Well, I think my raps have become ageless, because
Oh,
now I realize maybe I used to sell to the mothers of the younger millennials now, but the younger ones also wear my collections, because they like to go shopping with their moms,
Yes.
and I see them around. They come here, and then I dress them up. So I think we've really bridged the gaps, and because of the fabric, I would still believe the fabric stands out mostly, and it really again makes a statement. So we keep trying to reach out even to the younger ones, even if we already have a good market with the people who have normally patronized us. But now it's really getting down to the younger generations.
Wearing a Ditta piece is like adding character to your outfit, eh?
Yeah.
Because of the fabric, diba? It's so unusual. No?
It's so true, and besides, it's so versatile because you can just wear a two dress and then you wear it on top and you're looking great. I mean, you can go out and party, or you can. And now we're trying to give it a new look, which is the Zoom wear, so that people like this, you can only see me on top, and you can just don't have to wear anything under. I mean, you don't have to wear.
Right.
I mean, you can be very casual and you can still look great. So
what's that? Is that a wrap or a scarf? Like
yeah, this is a wrap. This is one of my wraps. So I took it out from one of my my collections in my closet. So
great.
I thought I'll wear it because I like the color.
I should probably
It goes with your background.
Yeah, that's right. I should probably order a sash to cover my tummy. No? Hey,
a wrap.
Yeah, I sent. Well, my dear Jojo, I sent you a mask. Okay,
I received it.
He's been modeling it around the office.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's not here with me now, but yeah.
Oh.
Okay, that's also from our Anaka.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later.
So you can keep promoting us.
Yeah. Looks so different. Meron siyang male ha?
Male collection, male line.
Meron siyang male customers very popular.
Oh, let's
si Raymond Villanueva, no?
Raymond, yes.
Yeah.
He's definitely our muse.
Yeah. Shall we have a break?
Yes, I think we'll pause for a short break, and when we return, we'll talk about Ditta Sandico Beyond the Label.
Okay.
Sige.
So?
Oh, we're back. We've just been enjoying the chat in the studio. Before we pause for a break, we wanted to know more about Ditta Sandico Beyond the Label. Do you have other passions beyond fashion? Other interests?
Definitely. One of the things that I've been doing lately was I did remodel or restore my dad's ancestral home in Mexico, Pampanga.
Oh, wow.
One of the projects I did for almost 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
Is it an ongoing project? Are you
still ongoing, and we're trying to convert it into an events place.
Oh, nice.
So we can't write about it yet?
Not yet.
You can definitely, Jojo.
Jojo will get it.
I want to invite you soon because it's really getting there. We've actually used it for location shoots.
Oh.
Do you remember Halik? This was with ABS.
Was it a teleserye or movie?
Teleserye with
I don't remember the artists.
Jericho Rosales.
Oh, Jericho.
Jericho,
yeah. It was done there.
Oh, wow.
It was
the
his
house.
That old house was his house.
Oh.
I mean, that was done in that location.
So you're also into home design, home
home design. It's
restoration.
really for the love of, because I felt like we needed to restore that place and keep it and showcase. Like, it's part of my DNA, diba? I mean,
Yeah.
it's who we are. It's my family's, and we really have to connect to it. Uh, Pretty soon, one day, I hope my children will be happy that we kept it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about food? Are you into, do you cook or?
And food, of course, uh, but like I said, I'm vegetarian, so I'm very picky with my food.
Mm,
I enjoy different salads. I enjoy different ways of putting things together.
Yeah.
I have my own dips. I have my own juices. I come up with my own juices, my healthy juices.
Ah,
And
yeah.
I've done vlogs.
mm,
It really has to have a direct connection with my life and what I've been doing and my my passions.
galing ah.
I like to paint. I like to
Artist. Yeah.
well, I do some sports,
Mhm.
yoga, and then just last week I was invited to do some. I mean, to enjoy the polo club. I went to a horse. I've ridden
Rode
the
a
horse. I
horse?
used to ride horses, but not as much now.
Oh, I see. Some activity.
You know, I was wondering, kasi di ba hindi naman lahat ng tao would want that kind of fabric, no? Is it itchy?
No.
Well, I'm saying I wouldn't say that it's the smoothest. Not as silk. It has its own texture, but in terms of how it holds up on your body, I think that's what makes a difference. And besides, you can always wear undergarments so that if you're very sensitive to it, it will protect your skin.
Right.
Has there been any incident, like anything at all, that a customer said that she wanted it different, or that because she has all
Special.
this, yeah, or yeah,
Customized, you mean?
yeah, and or maybe I should just have it without a lining,
Oh, things like that.
and all that.
Well, we've had
strange.
several. I mean, we've had a lot of people come to us for made to order stuff, and so far we've never had any returns. We've never had.
Oh.
I mean, we've never had any problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're good in those terms.
Gusto ko yung may mga ganun-ganon sa, I don't know how to describe it, but
What?
it's like ruffles behind you and all that. And
That's the wrap. It's how you wear it that can
Ah,
create
okay.
those waves.
So it's up
and
to you.
curves.
Ganun ba
Yeah.
yun?
Yeah,
Oh.
Oh.
you can actually you can gather it and then you can stretch it out. You can make
Oo.
a different shape out.
Patong-patong. Oo.
Oo nga. You've
Ayun
succeeded
pala.
in bringing this fabric internationally, globally, because your name is out there.
Yeah.
And how has the reception been to the Filipino culture that you're bringing to the world?
I've been very lucky in that regard because it started around I think 20 years back when I started to meet up with ambassadors, and they started inviting me to their host countries, and that made it easier for me to do performances abroad because with the little that I had, I mean, I would be sponsored or I would be housed, and then we would make arrangements from there, like models and technical staff and food. So it made it so much lighter. I mean, even packing. I mean, I would bring with me a luggage full of wraps, and we would transform it into so many different ways. So
Oh.
they were always floored. I mean, most of our clients, and I mean the viewers or the spectators would just be totally amazed at what it can do.
I know.
And I think that's what made the difference, and that's why it became quite popular everywhere. I mean, and we had a lot of friends out there, like even the local communities, they would help us out. They would open their homes, open their wallets too. I mean, they were patronized. So it made it. It was like it was always good. It was always a good market for me.
Yeah, I can imagine, no?
Oo nga naman,
Something
oo.
so unusual.
Yeah.
And just
Even
there.
I think even the foreigners,
Yeah.
they really
Yeah.
appreciated what we did.
Dita, do you also make dresses not made of the indigenous materials? Like,
Well, I've done linens. I started with linens,
oh,
and I still do them until now. But my forte is really into formal clothes, and
oh,
I do some wedding gowns every now and then. But I think I'm quite well known for my wraps
yes,
because
yes.
really it has really reached the farthest corners of
I
the world.
know. Galing,
Yeah,
galing,
yeah.
galing.
So, where would you attribute your success, your staying power? Because
You've
you're
been,
really up there and you're there.
and you're still there.
Yes. Oo. Ano ba ang sikreto?
Well, of course, it's totally faith. I mean, of course, I have a strong faith with God. In terms of my spirituality, and the patience that I've had for the longest time in building this product and learning to go through the process
Yeah.
and learning with it. I mean, it taught me a lot of things. And then the different phases. We go through different phases in our lives, and we always take the higher road, right? I mean, it's always almost like driving your life. And if you're driving a car, are you going to stay on status quo and just stay there, or you shift to higher gear? I always chose to shift.
To the
And
Oh.
looking back, I always had a story behind it.
Oh, oh.
And that's what made the difference. And I can talk about it. I can talk it. I mean, now I have something to say through my ups and downs. I can live through that, and it makes me feel good. It's a fulfilling process. I can't say that life has been easy. Of course, there were its ups and downs, but nevertheless, I think when we go through it, we go through life, we look back and we thank the Lord for everything that we've learned so far.
It's really your attitude, your mindset, that core, diba? That brings you.
Yes, the wholeness, the being in touch with yourself, and I think that's an important thing
Yes.
in one's life
Oh,
and your purpose.
yes. I think you're very lucky because that came very clear to you and you pursued it and you stuck with it. Because a lot of people, they don't even know what they want.
Yeah, that's right.
Until very
There's another,
late.
I see that with a lot of people, and I think the thing that was so clear to me was that I knew what I wanted. I knew what direction to take, and deep in my heart, I knew it was going to be okay. That no matter how how difficult things were. I mean, even going through a life. Difficulty. I mean, you can get over that because yes, you have support. You have people around you, and you believe in God. You believe in who He is, and He's going to be there for you, and nothing will turn you down or put you off.
Yes, I can see that in your aura. It's so maaliwalas, no? Yeah. So how are you today? What is Dita busy with these days?
I'm very busy. I do a lot of work. Yeah, and we do have a platform that is soon coming up, and it's actually something that I cooked up. I'm cooking up with some friends, and somehow it's probably a vision because one day I dreamt of it, and I thought, why not help my other co-designers who are having difficulties nowadays?
Oo nga.
So we would like, I'm trying to share with them this thought of doing Zoomware.
Yeah.
And and with this, like we're here in this little box, and maybe we can set trends, and it's showing off what we are wearing. I mean, like this, just simple as this. And if they can come up with and join the trend, I think it's one way of developing new things, because we cannot stay with just wearing masks.
Right.
And even the designers who were on top of everything, doing wedding gowns and doing all these couture dresses for all the top ladies. How can we keep that way when there's nothing we can't sell, because either they're holding on to their money, or why do they have to buy anything, right? I mean, there's no purpose in buying. There's no purpose in purchasing. So I think we really have to push the economy, push new things, new ideas.
Yeah, something we can all use now.
Yes, and also it makes a difference because it makes a statement. Right. And I'm looking at eventually pushing it in different places of the world, because it will identify us as the Filipino woman. More power women can wear it, and then during webinars and stuff like that, they can show who they are, and already they will be noticed.
Right.
They will be identified.
Oh, character.
Right?
But even your mask.
I have to make you wear a wrap soon.
Yes. But even your masks are statements. Georgia's been modeling them in the office. So
definitely, they are statements. They're always gonna wait. I can't find one right now, but I'm sure Georgia will wear them.
Yes.
So yes, I mean, even these little things, it matters. There's a lot of small details that we can showcase, and it's really being proud of who we are, and I think that makes the difference in terms of our culture and our heritage. So
we fully support that.
As Filipino, we support all these things. We have to make a difference in the world.
Ditta, we're winding up, but we'd like to ask you to talk to first our designers, and secondly our young women who would like to take the same path that you did, or to
in whatever
like
field,
you.
Diba? To just pursue their passion.
Yeah, but especially fashion design.
Yeah.
So what are your words of advice to, well, first, to your fellow designers? What would you like to tell them?
Well, to my friends out there, my colleagues, and I'm hoping that all of you are doing well and that you're fine and happy. But hang on, because we know that there's going to be life after this. For the young millennials, or the young ones who are still hoping to get, getting into this, getting into the wave of fashion, I suggest that you know more about yourself, know more about your DNA, know more about who you are and what you are truly passionate about. And that, I think, could make the difference in this life. So hopefully that gives you an inkling of where you would like to be, and give you more purpose in what you're doing.
So nice.
Yeah.
I've learned something again this afternoon, Jojo.
I wish I were young again.
So thank you very much, Ditta. It's been a pleasure talking with you about your work and your craft and your passion. And we hope that our viewers learned a lot and got to know you some more. We did, definitely. Yeah. So thank you very much for watching.
Yeah.
This has been Spotlight. I'm Dina Ventura.
I'm Jojo Silvestre.
And we'd like to
thank you so
SM.
much, guys. Hope to see more of you.
Yes, we'll have you again soon and talk about your restoration, the home restoration project.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sure. I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
And let's thank SM for
Yes,
our
for our
outfits.
outfits
Oh my
today.
God.
Thank you, SM Store.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dita.
Bye. It's been our pleasure.
See ya.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
Bilang bagong mag-asawa, sabay kami natututo sa buhay.
Sabay rin namin inaaral ng mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran. Hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo, walang labis. Tandaan, kung ano lang na konsumo,
Yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!
Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition and press reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join.